Cling, clang, go the chains. Someone's out to find you. Cling, clang, all the chains. The warden's right behind you. Quick now, the sinking chains approach with their shrieks gray. Don't stop, leave the chains, your last chance to escape. Drag the chains, with all the strength you may. Drag
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Corporate Esports Association Week 5 matchup between Microsoft Teams and the Facebook INTstagram. Love puns in the names. My name is PhiNick. Joined on the desk today, as always, by the lovely and lively Thousand Eyes, and we are getting ready to go. Both teams currently in this last week of the Swiss, sitting at 4-0 in the bracket, and it looks to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, both teams trying to avoid getting their first loss. The ranks that we've seen a little bit here are a bit skewed, so I'm kind of curious if, the Microsoft team has a lot more just experience working together and work better as a team, and that's kind of like been their secret to success so far in being 4-0. So I don't want to count them out based on that, but it is something I've kind of kept an eye on a little bit.
Yeah, and nothing too huge in terms of rank difference when you look at okay, top lane is Diamond 4 versus Plat 3. Like that's a one division difference. That's not like, even like D3 to D2 levels. Mid lanes are both D4. Hogwar was actually challenger in Latin American North, and this is something that I think is worth pointing about this Microsoft team. 3 of them are Latin American immigrants currently working in the US, so that's really interesting, and that ties well into their charity as well, the Northwest Immigrants' Rights Project.
Yeah, as well as Zabro is also Chinese, so this team is very much made up of people from.
It appears that we lost stream audio for a second there because I accidentally pressed my tilde key. Apologies on that. Thousand. Maybe if we had a producer instead of me doing double duty, this wouldn't be an issue. Just kidding. Love you all here. CEA team is great. But kind of as we were saying, so this team from Microsoft played together last season. For the most part, their previous jungler had to leave. So now they brought Andy in as their AD carry. Dimovic now in that jungle position and is currently acting as the captain of the team. And I'm really excited to see how well this team plays together due to that inherent synergy. But on the flip side, we have this Facebook INTstagram team, which unfortunately I didn't receive the same level of information from their captain, but we do have a little bit of interesting stuff to talk about from them regardless. When we take a look at their charity, it is Doctors Without Borders, also known as Medicine Sans Frontières, which of course is the charity that works in areas of conflict and areas that need a lot of attention from doctors that might have some sort of boundary that prevents other organizations from being able to step in, but MSF does step in those areas and does supply aid to people in need in those areas, and that's really, really cool. And we are almost ready to go in the lobby here. Anything else about the team stand out to you before we start?
One of the things that I'm kind of keeping an eye on is, where was it? Good golly gosh. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So, Microsoft top laner, Smolan, is very much the solo queue split push type of player. Lots of Tryndamere, lots of Singed. So I'm kind of curious if we're going to see that actually come out or if it's going to be a little bit more team oriented. But it's always interesting seeing a Tryndamere or a Singed because you don't get a lot of opportunities to see that in an organized environment.
Yeah, it's Cinched especially, I think, is one pick that we've just completely and totally missed in professional this year. Tryndamere has like never gets played in pro, but like Cinch is a pick that, you know, has been this
I love
perennial.
Singed.
I love Cinch.
He's
this
so funny to watch.
I mean, but like he's this perennial champion where it doesn't matter what the meta is, you're going to see Singed, no matter what type of deal. But this year we just haven't seen him a lot. Top lane is tanks have been dominated completely by Ornn and Volibear, whereas in previous season, you know, you had Singed as the hyper tank that would come out every single season and like do something at least, right? But I think he's been supplanted by Ornn in terms of like what he actually does on the map. Like, okay, he's not going to run you down, but at the same time, like as far as tanking power goes and as far as disengage power goes, Ornn comes pretty close, and he scales even harder than Singed does.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's just that Singed has always been a very niche pick that could always fit in, and it's just not happened this year.
Yeah, and we are just about ready to go into draft here. Speaking of you know, meta and stuff like that, I do think it is worth pointing out that potentially we're going to see some Worlds picks here. Bard, a champion.
There's the Tryndamere ban.
That gets played by both supports.
Yeah, so Zach is a very popular champ for Jish. The Zoe, I was just about to say, the Zoe is Hogwar's top champ by far, like 3 times the amount of play of games on Zoe than anything else. So that will be going as well. Other than that, yeah, Lilia. So they are really focusing Jish down here. I would be actually I'm expecting the Scion ban here. So Hecarim and then Scion here because that is Yoshi's top pick. There we go. Yes. Yoshi is basically a Scion one trick, even more so than the Zoe ban. So now Urgot would be the next on the list there. Ornn was available, but not going to be taken up. And now, what will be the pick here? I would think that we're going to see maybe a jungler here. Set is still available, and that is that's
also a pick away as well. If I'm not mistaken, Dragon Knight does play that in the
Dimavik is next on the list for him is Set. So Maokai got to be taken here. Interesting, actually. I'm not sure. There is no Maokai for anybody.
I believe
team.
I saw Smolin play Maokai, actually, when I was looking through the OP.GGs. And I do think it's not the worst tank matchup to take an Urgot. Like,
not at all.
I didn't think we'd get that. That. So Andy's top 3 AD carries are Ashe, Senna, and Samira. And before this lobby started, I'm like, okay, we're not going to see Samira. It's not something you're going to see. It's such a hyphy pick. It has a lot of issues if it can't get ahead in lane. No, we see it. And I think it is worth pointing out here that when you take this, like, you're not just going to be riding on the Hogwarts train anymore. They did tell me that Hogwarts was kind of their primary carry threat most of the time. Mm-hmm. Plays assassins as well as split pushers. You see Maokai, which isn't super split push. This is going to be Echo mid laner, by the way. Dimavik does not play this in the jungle. So this is blind pick Echo. They have the ability to ban out the Galio here, which is something Kid Strawberry plays, and I think they need to do. But when you're up against this Kha'Zix from Jish D, and we see the Cassidy ban as well, which is another good counter pick in Echo, and another one that Kid Strawberry plays. When we see this kind of lopsided pickup here, I do see this Kha'Zix. I saw it at Worlds this morning, and it lost at Worlds this morning. And I think a lot of that has to do with, like, you need to be able to delete targets. And you already have this Maokai who's going to have pretty strong peel. Zabro probably going to be on a tank support as well. So where's your backline access? Like, how are you going to delete a Samira with Death Stance and ulti up? Like, how are you going to delete Neko? I'm not a huge fan of this pick right now, even though it is one of Jish's most played champions.
Yeah, I think especially with the Maokai being shown here, the Kha'Zix is a very rough pick. The point and click nature of Maokai's root is really going to hurt Kha'Zix, because if he is deep in the enemy team and he gets rooted, he is not going to be going anywhere. Like you said, the Galio is available still, but it is going to be I'm assuming it's going to be the jungler pick here. They may still want to grab the set here.
Yeah. No, it's going to be the not, because that way they can hold... No, they can't hold Maokai and Flex.
They technically could, but...
Technically, but like Nautilus top hasn't been a thing, and
No, but they
now.
could put Maokai jungle.
Oh, that's true. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Not great,
from Dimovic. It's
but
not really in his wheelhouse.
No, it's almost certainly a top lane pick here, but right now we have just the mid and the support pick here. So the Sylas is going to be taken up here, and this was a flex pick that we were gonna note here, but it will just be a mid lane here.
Yeah.
Kid Strawberry taking that, and I like that into the Echo, because Sylas can really utilize Echo Ultimate extremely well.
Yeah, and on top of that, right, you have on top of that, he's very good at abusing melee matchups in lane.
Ooh.
And there's the set pick away there. Obviously, that set pick is a three-way flex.
That's a support,
professionally, but this is a two-way flex, I believe, for both these teams. Dragonite, or sorry, not for both these teams, for INTstagram. However, they are taking the set in support instead of in jungle, so that's a takeaway from Dimovic here. Zabro going to pick the Volibear for the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a
like
question mark
this.
pick to me. Okay, I'll elaborate on that.
So there's a couple of things. One, it allows for Samira and Nautilus to just go hard. Once Volibear hits level 6, they can dive the bot lane here. And even though like Ezreal is going to be able to get away from a lot, Set will not. And that will give them the time to kind of not worry about the grit shield from Set and still be able to burn him down. I also like this because I think against Kha'Zix, you can stun him, auto W, get press the attack, and bring your shield down. There, you can stall against Kha'Zix until your Echo can come and help you. So I think it really accomplishes what they want to do here, which is just dive and blow people up, and it fills out their composition with a clear win condition.
Yeah. And they now are looking at 3 frontliners, a backliner, and a dive.
Mm-hmm.
So
like late game, Kha'Zix is not going to kill this Volibear.
Yeah,
or
well,
this
late
Maokai.
Late game, he's not going to kill Samir or Echo either, because because there's so much peel around them, but also Samir just has so much healing inherent to her kit that like you're going to need to get an XX on the Kha'Zix, which is just not an item that Kha'Zix likes building because he'd rather put that gold in the lethality. That said, right, I think it's worth pointing out Jish D versus Dimovic is the highest rank gap in the entire game right now. Jish is Diamond 3, I believe, could be Diamond 4. Let me double check that. So Jish is D3 and Dimovic is currently Gold 3. That said, I don't think it necessarily shows the whole story. Yes, you can get into the jungle and get in the face of Dimovic if you want to try, but you still have to worry about Hogwar, who's going to be able to grab lane priority relatively quickly in order to help out, as well as, you see Smolin on this Maokai. It's into an Urgot matchup, so that lane is basically like no one's going to come from the top lane, right? Like Urgot should get wave priority technically because it can be used melee matchups, but Maokai can just keep on sustaining through using passive, so it's not a jungle matchup where like the 2v2 jungle mid, I would favor the Volibear Echo most of the time. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think top lane is going to be a bit of a rough matchup. Maokai does not really enjoy playing against Urgot terribly much. He wants to play up against somebody who's going to use spells on him a lot, and Urgot is just going to hit W and auto attack him a bunch. The Samira also with the Ezreal is a little bit rough because Ezreal is not going to give an opportunity for Samira to do her dash through him, he is going to stay back and shift out if he ever gets close enough to Samira, meaning that it will be harder for her to stack up the ranking system and get that ultimate off. That said, though, with the Nautilus, there's a lot of opportunities to kind of like use the extra range dash, get that going. I'm actually curious now that I think about it. Silas stealing Samira ult, does he have to build up the rank to use the ultimate?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
I have not seen a Silas versus a Samira yet, so I am not aware of what that interaction is.
I'm not aware either. I feel like Silas using Samira ultimate could be pretty deadly, just because he has so many tank stats already inherent in
my
his
god,
kit.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it would absolutely be nutty. It just really depends on does
like,
he need to build it up?
Well, because if he has to build it up over the duration of a fight, I just don't think it's worth it, because Silas has much higher cooldowns on his abilities than Samira does.
I mean, his E has different procs, so he could...
That is true.
E auto. E auto, E, W auto. Yeah, there's definitely ways he can do it. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Well, so let's talk about the Samira pickup, because it's not something we've seen in CEA or when we've casted together, although I have seen it quite a bit other places. So Samira is a champion that I feel like...
forgot items.
So actually I'm still loading into the game here, because for reasons I'm not gonna go into what exactly those reasons are, but we are now into the game. Let me just go ahead and hit plus here, so we're good to go. So yeah, Urgot didn't forget items. He went back. He's got it.
Yeah, he had to go back.
Yeah, you know what? It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is always fine. On the blue side, it is INTstagram of the Facebook variety. GC Yoshi 13 in the top lane. Jish D in the jungle. Kid Strawberry in the mid lane. Forago in the AD carry position. And Dragonite DD in support.
And on the red side, it is Microsoft Team (S). It is Smolin in the top lane, Dimavik in the jungle, Hagwar Vizmai in the mid lane, Andy 1095 in AD carry, and Sabro on support.
So yeah, Samira is one of those picks where... So to me, right, and her solo Q-in rate seems to do this as well. Samira is basically like how Lissandra was pre-Lissandra nerfs. Where like you have to win lane as her, and like she can be used as a general pick, but like no matter what, you're gonna have to snowball your fight, right? Because if you can't get up to S rank and you can't snowball your fight, you can't hit your abilities, like Samira's just useless. Same thing with like Lissandra in fights. If you're not able to get a kill straight off the bat on your first combo, then your passive's not gonna proc, and you're not gonna be able to do sustained damage on the fight. Which, you know, now obviously Lissandra is really only used as an anti-assassin.
We got bites.
Nice flash, face breaker. Andy got a dash out of the way, but he's ignited up. Summoner Hero gonna be popped. Forago.
Oh, they
go ahead and
switched.
flash. And Andy is fine. That's a flash down on Forago and Dragonite for just a heal out of Andy.
And ignite, yeah. It's honestly really, really unfortunate they swapped targets there near the end.
Yeah.
I think they both thought the other person was going to confirm the kill, and Andy able to dash and heal away. So a good escape from Andy to keep himself alive. But yeah, Samira definitely functions like a Katarina in the AD carry position. Like you basically,
or like,
yeah, you have to really get off the ground either early or get a major like reset kill, you know, multi-kill going on. Otherwise, you are going to not be terribly useful. You know, Lissandra at the very least can ult somebody and lock them down. She has a lot of crowd control in her kit, but with Katarina and with Samira, it is all about just getting those kind of combo movement multi-kills where you're just hopping around and blowing people up.
yeah. And when you look at Samira when she's been played not in professional, because obviously she's not enabled professionally at the moment, with patch 10.19, you see engagement happening. Kid Strawberry gonna go ahead and pop the E.
Oh, no.
Hogwar gonna flash out of the way, though. Flash for Jishti. 100 health down, but Hogwar's out of there. No kills thus far, and this is reminding me of Damwon versus DRX a little bit. Nice
great pull.
Hex Flash, Space Breaker, into the Haymaker combo, and he will block most of that damage, though.
Yeah, Hogwar has been on the back foot this entire time in this mid lane here.
No.
Strawberry, yeah.
Ooh. If that Q returned in time, like if you put the Q out a little bit sooner and got the empowered auto, I think that actually ends up being a kill for Echo. But that's like
I
a 50-50.
don't think so, honestly. I think regardless, Hogwar was pretty much just gonna be dead there. There is not enough damage on this Echo yet. Echo needs just at least half an item to be able to really do things, and Sylas has the inherent base damage to fight early on.
Yeah. But basically, when Samira's been seen in like amateur, plat through to diamond, through to challenger, like she's definitely like I think she's like Yasuo, and where you really only pick her like when you think you're gonna style on someone, because I don't think she's I don't think she's good if she doesn't get ahead, right? And
yeah,
like she scales better than some other AD carries that are currently popular right now, and like we can't like express that enough. Like she still buys 100% crit, which is nice compared to a couple other AD carries at the moment that currently.
Oh yeah, she will do
75.
damage. The issue becomes her short range in the later portions of the game. She's putting herself in danger just to get into fights, compared to something like a Caitlyn.
Yeah, or an Ashe, or
an Ashe. Yeah. Whereas like Kaisa has that short range, but she has the shields and the mobility just to run around, and whereas Samira's mobility is tied to other units.
I mean, what I will say is, like, I think she's a better scaling option than, like, Ballista, with very similar levels of potential lane prowess. And I do think that's where she's probably gonna, put herself in, as far as the pro meta is concerned. I think Ballista is, like, the 5th most played AD carry at Worlds right now, or tied for it. Saw a graphic, of that regard at the moment. Like, obviously, like, Callista's not super far up there, but it's one of those cases where, you want to pick lane dominance, you go for Callista at the moment, just because Caitlyn Morgana just isn't as good as it was. We see Jishti making his way down bot. Doesn't have level 6 yet. Zabro can get pulled in by the phase breaker. Ignite down,
good hook.
Hook out of the way. And a nice block from Andy keeps Zabro alive. Jishti maybe looking to go under tower. He's already at B rank. Kid Strawberry, though, might be in a bit of trouble himself.
Wait, Maokai is here.
Go dash in. The stun lands from the Echo, and Dimovic picks up the kill.
Here comes Urgot.
Going over. Urgot's here. He gets the flip down. Has the Fear Beyond Death. Will be able to use it onto the Nautilus. It's
good flash.
Now gonna flash forward. Onto 3 members, but the health bars are low, and Andy does the damage. Hogwar gets the kill on Yoshi. It's 2 for 1. Jishti will be the next one to fall, but the TP is being channeled. Andy is here around the TP. Here comes the Sylas, has the Echo Ultimate flash out of the way, and Samira is down. Andy able to take the Echo Ultimate down, and it's going to be 2 more kills going over to the INTstagram squad. And it's going to be a 3 for 2 in the bot lane on the extended fight. Dash forward.
Yeah.
Hogwar.
I think we're good now.
Okay.
That was such a hectic fight. Both Strawberry and Yoshi using the teleports to get into there. It was a great TP from Yoshi, and Zabro actually staying around a little bit too long, gave the Fear from Beyond Death over to Yoshi, who then flashed forward to get the Fear, but there was nobody else to follow up on that, which ended up with Yoshi just going down. And then the fight took so long that Strawberry, despite dying early on in that fight, was able to teleport back into it, stole the Echo ult before he went down, and then was able to use it not just to dive in and get the kill to get out safely, but also got an extra kill with the ultimate on the way back. So even though he died right at the beginning of the fight, still came out ahead an extra kill.
Yeah. And that feels really nice on him. He has the stopwatch
Yeah.
Due to the 3 KP has the stopwatch now available as well to help with the Echo Burst damage. And I think, speaking of the Echo, the use of that Chrono Break was really smart from Kid Strawberry. He went in, did a bunch of damage, then Kingslayer, then Chronoed, which just heals him back up to full health at that point. So that's really, really strong. Demovic gonna hit level 6 here on the Volibear, and I do think that this level 6 power spike on the volley should be able to help with some of these skirmishes as we move into the mid game. Quite a bit more than Kha'Zix on level 6. And and Kha'Zix needs more kills, right? Like, he will fall off, and unlike Nidalee, who's we've seen a lot of this world, like, doesn't have late game utility if he past that fall off perspective, because like Nidalee can always build, you know, can always build into items that are more supportive in nature, whereas Kha'Zix just can't.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the assist will help out, but yeah, it is kind of a timer is on this Kha'Zix to be able to get something going here, or he's just gonna, you know, eventually get outscaled, barring some kind of skirmish that he can make a pick out of. I am also a little bit disappointed with Smolin to get the Bomby Cinder first item. Every tank against Urgot needs to be rushing a Thornmail.
Here comes Just D.
Ooh, good dodge.
Not going to be able to hit. Here comes Demovic, though. Flash out from Smolin. Demovic has ulti. Flash forward. Here comes the dunk. Jish down to 100 health. This will be a trade back. We get some healing up with the empowered Q, and the double kill hits. Woo!
That's a level 8 Kha'Zix, baby. Yeah, so all right. Let's talk about that one a little bit here.
Conqueror was busted there. He does not live without Conqueror.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would generally agree with that. The big thing though was just a great start of the fight with Jish getting there a little early and Smolin already being fairly low health meant that the kill coming through was going to give the Triumph to survive a bit longer, and then the reduced cooldown on Kha'Zix Q when he evolves it and uses it on isolated targets. Fighting in that river area is just exactly where Kha'Zix wants to be. Pretty much everybody's gonna be isolated a lot more, and it's going to be a lot easier for him to just pump out a lot of damage in skirmishes.
Yeah, that Q evolution is kind of nasty. I thought Demovic had a good way of turning that fight, especially once Smolin, you know, used the Twisted Advance to dodge out of the way of the Free Beyond Death, right? Like, there is solid play going out, and I don't think Demovic played that fight incorrectly. It's just one of those cases where, you know, I think that's kind of just an outplay from Jish D, where, like, he's like, okay, I have Conqueror, I have an upgraded Q, let's take this to the bank, and Facebook currently out on top, 2,000, actually 3,000 gold lead at this point. Flash into the face breaker. Andy gonna
good
dash
dodge.
away, going back in, but he's ignited up. Demovic is here. 1v1ing the Kha'Zix. He's got a flash out of the way as Andy pops the ultimate. Andy goes getting up a double kill as well. The TP coming in, Twisted Advance forward on to Jish D. He does have Conqueror healing, but it's not going to be enough.
No.
Strawberry able to get the deletion onto Andy. Gonna go in with the Abscond Duck, steal the Nautilus ultimate, uses that depth charge on a Zabro. Double kill for Kid Strawberry, but here comes Hogwar. Here comes Smolin with the Twisted Advance, the knockback, not going to be able to get in the stun. The Kingslayer gets him back to half health, and he gets the triple kill. The Q forward into the Proto Belt. Kid Strawberry looking for more, and he stays alive off the stopwatch. What am I watching?
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's start from the beginning. I actually don't know where Demovic actually went, because he was sitting in that bush and it seemed like he was prepping for a counter gank there as Jish came in.
Jish just deleted him.
Oh, did he? Oh, I entirely missed that. Wow.
Because Oliver didn't have ulti, and his only resist item at the moment is in the Merc Treads. So right now, just on the serrated Dirk, he'll just be able to yeet through a Volibear without ult up.
Yeah,
Strawberry.
right. Yeah.
Now on a Hogwar, Abscond Duck lands. W goes down. Jish. Yeesh. So you know how we said that Kazakhs needed to get off the ground?
Yeah.
Quite the antithesis of what we saw from Fnatic when they played that pick earlier this morning. But, you know.
Spoilers.
Dude, that series was a
Everyone's
banger.
watched it yet.
That series was a banger.
Oh no!
Riptiro
Silas.
gets taken. Smallin might be in trouble
That's gonna
here.
be a dead bout.
Yeah, that's fair beyond death hits.
Oh wait,
Smallin
it was
goes
down
down.
and missed already.
No. He hit it, but below. It was up mildly above the threshold, so he only got the slow on it.
Ah, okay.
But like just barely above the threshold. And then he was so
But yeah.
advanced.
I'm a little frustrated with Smolin right now because you need a Bramble Vest against Urgot if you are playing a tank. Like, that's just a no-brainer. You pick up Bramble Vest, period, because of how often he is just gonna slam you with that machine gun.
Or a sip.
So, rushing the Bomby and going into the Sunfire, like, on paper sounds like, oh yeah, armor. I like Sunfire Cape. It sounds great, but...
Peeping channel
Uh-oh.
from the blue side here.
This is Kid.
Gets the pull in. Dragon gonna go ahead. Here comes Samira also, but she gets deleted. And the
Oh my
V2
God.
bot side double kill on to the Silas. And this is a bit old school. He actually went for the Luden's Echo first item.
Oh.
I
Okay.
quite like that in this particular instance because he's snowballing. And Hogwar gonna go ahead and pop the ulti here, but because Strawberry's already here, Chain Lash and Fear from Beyond Death going to pick up the kill.
Oh my goodness. This is a shellacking.
Yeah, I think the game started out well, or I started out decently for Microsoft Teams. It's just like there was a timing hit where Kazakhs hit level 8. He had the fully upgraded Q on top of the evolution, and
Just a lot of good roams
that
and flanks by
kills.
Silas.
Yeah, and on top of that, as you said, Silas able to get a lot of these roams off. Kid Strawberry gonna go ahead and hit the abscond duck and the kill.
Good. Yes.
And now you see late game scaling options. Potentially, you have two very strong late game tanks on Microsoft Teams, but your only late game damage is a Senna versus an Ezreal. And like Senna does do decent damage late, but she needs to get that
Samira?
stance, or not Senna, Samira. Yeah, you're right. Both start with an S. Both were released this year.
Yeah, I think honestly the bigger issue here is just that this Silas is going to scale pretty darn well. The mid game
Ezreal
of this
and
Urgot is extremely strong. He does fall off a bit late, just because he struggles to get into fights. But
Legit. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Before I say
it
something that's
is
probably wrong.
just not looking terribly great right now. Especially just because more than anything, the tempo that is going right now, it is every single movement that Microsoft has made. INTstagram has responded in kind and just triumphed over it.
INTstagram. Yeah, you got to remember the
INTstagram.
the int part of it. Much
Yeah,
like me and
I am
me
putting
and
all of this game on Strawberry because the teleport flanks, the roams, and the follows have been absolutely played to perfection. All of the fights we've seen Strawberry in and going to have just really catapulted him and by proxy the rest of his team into this mid game with a substantial 6,000 or 7,000 gold advantage.
yeah, and you know 3,000 of that almost on the Silas, 2,000 of that on the Kazakhs as well, 3,000 on the Urgot. This is just utter domination in every lane but bot, but like you don't need to dominate on an Ezreal bot lane at all. Like, he's super safe. He's going to scale. We see a 3v3 coming out bot side. Gets the pull down into the depth charge.
Oh, that was
volley.
good
Go
block.
ahead and get the dunk down. Dragonite has the haymaker. But here comes the Samira ultimate on a Forgo. It's a double kill for the Senna. As the Fear Beyond Death will be a swing and a miss. And he just has to get out of the fight. It's 2-4-2 as the double kill hits on to the enemy jungler. And Samira still can be scary. And I was going to mention this. IE will be the next item.
Yes.
I think it should be Death Dance third here. I think
Absolutely.
you skip the 75% on your crit just to be able to sustain through it. I was almost thinking you can go Death Dance second, but obviously I was wrong there. She's totally fine not building that now. But like, especially when you have this Jishti who's super powerful, getting the resistance stats of the Aegis at least is kind of imperative for this Samira and almost for the Volibear as well. Like, he's getting a Spirit Visage for his healing, but where's your armor? Like, yes, Silas is an issue, but Kha'Zix will melt through you if you don't have any armor stacked at all.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking terribly great. Like I said, Samira always has the opportunity to pop off. She has the reset mechanics. Her ultimate obviously can be used multiple times in a fight. There's you know, a world in which she can always turn a fight. It is just that window of opportunity is getting smaller and smaller as time goes on. Especially just with how far ahead these assassins are, which is not really where Samira shines.
I mean, I will say though, like, this is definitely like the best performance this game at the moment from Microsoft Teams is Andy on the Samira.
Absolutely.
And I don't think the pick necessarily is suffering as much as it could, just because Jish has put most of his attention towards this top side of the map early. Because every time he tried to do something bot lane, Samira was able to get out, and I think that's a lot to do with Andy.
The vast majority of the suffering has been because Kid Strawberry has shown up every time there's been any action.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, Samira hasn't been super punished as a pick here, and once she hits that 3 items or that 2 item spike, it's going to be difficult to deal with her if she's able to get the resets off in a fight, even without the Death Stance healing. So
it's worth mentioning that her ultimate does not do a lot of damage until you can get some items on her, especially the crit. It is not very strong as far as base damage goes.
Depth charge gonna be stolen by Kid Strawberry here. Has the lineup potentially, but here comes the hook. Able to get the depth charge down. Flash into the showstopper, and Andy goes down as he gets the shutdown onto the Silas. That's 1 for 1, but the gold currently in advantage of this red side team as they pick up a second kill. This one onto the set. Jishti out of the way. They will end up losing top tower, but they got a shutdown and a 2 for 1.
They get a shutdown, 1,000 gold onto the Samira, the exact person you didn't put to get that gold.
Oh, yeah, she's going straight to the 75% crit.
Oh, let's go. I'm excited now, actually.
Okay, that's hypey. I love it. I love it. Jishti gonna go ahead and delete Volibear. And this is kind of what sucks, right? Like, I feel like Stoneplate is just kind of like, or Death Stance is just kind of better here for the volley. Like, Death Stance typically not something you're gonna buy. But like, I understand why you build Spirit Visage, because it's core and the Silas is ahead, but every single time that Kha'Zix shows up, he just deletes you. Like, you need some armor.
Yeah, it's kind of a lose-lose situation, because you build for one and the other is going to blow you up.
Yeah.
I feel like Gargoyle is not going to be super useful, because you need the health as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you need the health at all times, not just on an activation period. So it's kind of just a lose-lose situation for right now. You can see the same with Smolin to a degree. He is getting blown down.
I'm quoting Eminem. I don't know why. This is, I guess it's that time of the broadcast where just quote random songs.
Worth mentioning, it is a minute 30 till Dragon Soul is available. So we have had 3 dragons already for Instagram. Earth Soul, not the best, but Urgot definitely doesn't mind having that.
Of course, and now he has the Death Stance completion as well. Also, Smolin picks up a Kindle Gem and still doesn't have a Bramble Vest. So let's talk about our friend Boris real quick. You know who Boris is?
Yes, Mr. LS.
Okay. I'm not.
LS stands for losing shout chapter.
I don't claim to be LS, but friend Boris, right? He's the shopkeeper. And sometimes, you know, he makes item suggestions that are mildly questionable. Sometimes you have to, you know, think, you know what, I really want this. He's just trying to be like a good salesman, right? And like give the item that gives him the most value, not the one that gives you the most value, right?
Yeah.
And in this particular case, Kindle Gem definitely gives him quite a bit of value, but for 100 gold more, and here's my salesman talking, for only 100 gold more, you get the ability to make sure Urgot's Death Stance doesn't sustain him more than your passive.
Yeah, and once again here
Dragon
we
Knight going in.
see...
DP being channeled, and he
Samira!
flashes out of the way with the back line, able to dodge out the death charge, but Jishti still able to get the kill as a Premier from Beyond Death gets the kill on the Volibear. It's just a wash here. Smolin will be the next one to fall. Dragon Knight DD picks up the kill, and it's just the Nautilus alive that will be sold to INTstagram.
Yeah, and that was just them getting to the dragon beforehand. Once again, the tempo advantage going their way. No opportunity for the... for Microsoft to get in there, because by the time they had the chance to get over towards the dragon, it was already too late, and Instagram were there waiting for them.
You only had one shot, one opportunity
Oh my god.
to do everything you wanted. Would you take it, or would you let it slip? Snap back to the league again. Down there goes the Baron.
You're the whitest rapper.
I mean, yes. That said, you know, at least I have an appreciation for, you know, the classics, a la like NWA, Wu-Tang, Tupac, right? Like I got an appreciation for that. Also, like modern day, you know, you got your Kendrick.
You got your
good.
dead trees.
Yeah, pretty much. Smolin should just go down. Fear from Beyond
Goodbye.
Death. Going to pick up the kill. And now...
Is she burning the flash, though?
Gets the stun on the Volibear, puts the W down. Dimovic, though, down to half health, and the True Shot Barrage chunks him out so low. Double kill for the Urgot. So what do you think changes here for Microsoft Teams? For game 2?
Well, I think you don't blind pick the Echo here, because I think that got hurt pretty bad trying to fight this Silas early.
Ogmore ulti back on a GC Yoshi, but it gets dove under tower, and Zabro will be the next one to fall.
I think you also don't blind pick the Maokai.
I mean, blind picking both soul. Well, no, you didn't blind pick the Maokai. They picked the Maokai into the Urgot. GC Yoshi first picked that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Then you just don't pick the Maokai into that.
I mean, as far as melee tanks go, like Maokai isn't the worst pick in their Urgot, but like Shen at the very least can block his damage.
It's not the worst, but it is a hard lane.
I mean, I don't think there are any tanks like you ever want to pick in Urgot, right? But like sometimes you just need to pick a tank. Like, I don't think Smolin plays Camille or really. Oh, no, Camille definitely works, or like Karma or anyone who can actually abuse the Urgot matchup. Game 1 going over to INTstagram here. So we were already talking about game 2.
Available.
You know,
just put them on comfort.
Put them on Conquer. Comfort, not Conquer.
Conqueror.
Conqueror.
Regardless, he had a bad fur day, and now we're gonna be getting ready for game 2.
Yeah, it's quite a rare thing to see you make the puns this time around.
Look, I learned from the worst. Okay,
You know,
learn from the worst, so I know how to be better.
uh, you know, I feel that. I
I
feel
do
that.
know.
I feel that. Facebook and Instagram going to be on the blue side once again here, so nothing too insane going into the second game as we are getting ready to go in the lobby. We're not even going to have time to take a break here. They're already in. Just about. Let me go ahead and actually send the invite because I forgot to do that because I'm dumb.
Yes, I would like to see the video game.
I'm also an Anivia one trick, so that's kind of like the same thing. Dumb and Anivia one trick. I fully admit that. In this meta,
Trust me, I don't think it's
the.
the Anivia one trick that's causing it.
Shh. All right. I see how it is.
Anyway, let's talk about changing up that team composition there, because I feel like both draft and itemization were a lot of the issues going on there.
I mean, the pick order wasn't great either, because you just didn't have a potential counter pick for R5, and I think you're like messing up your red side. We're going into the second game draft here. Bans, do you think they're going to ban the Silas? I think is the real question.
I don't like. I could see them banning it, but I think honestly, like that means you have to leave one of the other picks available, which I don't think is the correct choice either. I mean, like they banned the Cassidin. They banned what was the other one?
They banned the Yasuo as well.
Yeah, the Yasuo, they banned the Cassidin, like,
and those were all R4, R5 bans. They did not ban any mid laners in the first rotation. They banned Zac, which they did again. We see Trinimir Zoe.
Hecarim
was banned by Instagram, not by Teams.
Yes.
It was Zac. Like if I remember correctly, it was 2 jungle bans and then the.
Yeah. It was 2 jungle bans, definitely.
And then was it?
It was the Lilia. Yeah. It was
the Lilia. Because Jess has been playing a lot of that as well, and
yeah, those are the 2 main champs he's been playing. Kha'Zix has like half the games as those 2. Yeah, and there's the Hecarim ban. So currently, it's the same bans that we got in the last game.
I mean, I don't think the ban phase was necessarily the problem.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It's the Scion was the 3rd ban here. Now I remember.
Scion was the 3rd ban. Yeah, because that is Yoshi's one trick pick. I think honestly, you'd rather have him on the Scion than the Urgot based on last game.
I mean, if they just pick the Urgot, like
yeah, you just take the Urgot again.
Like, do you play Karma? Do you play Lulu? Do you play Camille? Do you play Quinn? Like, do you play anyone who can actually deal with an Urgot in lane? Do you play Shen? Right, like that is your one tank option is the Shen.
Yeah, I think right now, like for Instagram, you can pick almost the exact same team composition. I think the only thing you might change is just like that bottom lane up.
Okay, there's that set.
The bottom lane is the only thing that didn't just completely smash. So the set going to be taken up here, and that is, technically a triple flex. Could be top, jungle, or support, although Demovict is the one who has the experience on set, so that is where I would expect it to go just off the bat. The Tristana, however, this is a mid lane Tristana. This is for Hoglar.
Oh my god, I love this. I love that. Yeah. I mean, so a lot of this has to do with the fact that Kid Strawberry doesn't really play many champions that are good into the Tristana. I don't see Veigar on the list. I don't see anyone who has like close range hard CC except for Galio, and like Galio and a Tristana just sucks for Galio. The pick order here has been exactly the same for the first 3 for INTstagram though, but I do like how they've swapped this up. They have a flex. They took this mid lane blind, but it's a much less punishable one based on Kid Strawberry's champion pool, and I do think this also makes up for kind of like how little the Echo was able to get around last game, because now like you just pick a lane kingdom AD carry up against a roamer, and like if the roamer leaves, there goes your tower. It's Tristana.
I think the best option would be to pick some kind of assassin who can really chunk Tristana out early, but there aren't a lot of options there. You wouldn't want to pick a Zed or something like that because your team is just going to be fully AD. The Fizz would have been an option, but yeah, that is going to be taken off the board. Silas could still work, I think.
Banned as well, I think.
No, you don't ban Kassadin. Tristana would absolutely rock Kassadin.
Oh, that's right, because Kassadin wouldn't be able to get to level 6 at all in that lane. That's right.
Yeah.
I think
banning
Silas
the Echo, I
ban.
think, is strange because you should know that this is a mid lane Tristana. I don't think they realize that this is for Hogwar.
Yeah, I don't think they realized it either. Like looking at op.gg's, this is not an Andy champion at all. Like this is one of
there are no
picks.
games of Tristana. Yeah, it is 100% going to be a mid lane Tristana, and they do not realize it. That could really bite them in the butt right now. Actually,
there's the Yasuo ban as well. So Silas is still an option here. As far as like kind of like bruisery, you can also, if I'm not mistaken, Aurelia is not bad into Tristana, because even though it's range versus melee, like Aurelia and Camille are both weird because they can abuse range champions because of how they gap close. But
I will say I don't know if they're going to pick the Silas here, mainly because there's the Shen, which I do like.
I like this a whole lot more than the Maokai.
Now, okay, so one of the things that does pose a problem now is you need some magic damage on your team. With the Tristana being mid and the Shen being top, and a set in the jungle, there is almost entirely, oh no, don't pick it. It's a bait. It's a bait, guys. No.
Not only is it a bait, but like Galio is available.
It's a bait. You should know. You should have done your research.
So here's the thing, right? Late game, Kassadin just wipes the floor with the Tristana. Mid game, if Tristana doesn't get a lead, Kassadin wipes the floor once he hits level 11. But up until level 6, if the Tristana gets 2 kills on the Kassadin, Kassadin is gone for the rest of the game. That's Pantheon support.
That's Pantheon support because they know Tristana is weak in the early game and they think it's a bottom lane Tristana and they're gonna get their minds blown when it's an Ashe pickup here.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
I mean it's full AD, right? Like
it's a full AD composition. Yeah, you have a team comp here that is, other than Nami, doing entirely physical damage. So that is going to fall off late, and it means that Microsoft has to get things done early.
Yeah. I almost wanted to see Swain there, actually. That would have been such a dank pick.
Yeah, Swain, Syndra, I think, would have also been good.
Veigar is decent with Nami, but I think like Swain Nami is just kind of like busted. But I digress on that point. That's not going to happen. It's already been picked. We already see this Ashe. So you have a Kassadin into a team with no point and click CC. So that is a good thing for the Kassadin. However, if Kassadin can't get to level 6 without dying and giving Tristana an item advantage, then he's not going to come online to level 16. If he's able to make it out of lane, then his level 6 should be able to equalize some of the pressure, and his level 11 is where he'll start to beat up the Tristana because of where Tristana hits her power trough in that mid game. I like everything about this comp except for the damage profile. Like, I like everything about this comp except for the damage profile.
I think a different
from
jungler
teams
would be ideal, but I also understand why they picked the set because that's just Dimvik's champion pool. And And like I said, maybe a mage in the bot lane where they could have been able to kind of like run that to even things out would have been ideal. But once again, understand champion pool. I'm really disappointed in Instagram for not knowing that the Tristana was gonna pop into the mid lane and getting straight up baited into the Kassadin pick. Like you said, though, it is going to hit a point where the Kassadin will just start to be able to delete people. The only person who, or the only people who won't get just blown up by the Kassadin are going to be the Shen and the Set a little bit.
And you don't really have any good ways to peel Kassadin in team fights either. There's no point in click CC, right? Like,
okay, you have Shen taunt.
Yes, but that's not point.
You have Shen taunt, you have Set ult, and you have Nami ult.
Yeah,
Ashe ult as well, but that's not going to do a whole lot.
Set ult is your only point and click CC though, and the reason I say point and click is once you hit level 16 on Kassadin, that thing's off cooldown more often than it's, or sorry, that thing's off cooldown more than it's on cooldown, so he can just continually rift walk so long as he has mana, and whereas level 11's where he gets like this big CDR on it, and that's, you know, another power spike on him. But like if you don't have the ability to just lock him down, point and click, and then change your other CC, he can just dodge that out really easily. The exception, of course, to point and click CC obviously is things like Galio Taunt, Lissandra E as well, but still. This Kassadin is a very scary pick late game, as well as the Ezreal and the Urgot. You have quite a bit more late game scaling on teams as well, though. Like you have Tristana Ashe, you have Shen. It's just Kassadin, I think, just much like Kayle in the late game, or I guess before Kayle, right? Like level 16 is just, it's over, right? So how does team? So I guess the question is, because we've been talking about this Kassadin, how does teams prevent that late game from happening? How does teams make this comp work in a manner where they don't ever hit that late game? You either make sure that Hogwar is winning that lane, or you gank the hell out of that Kassadin. You basically put him in a situation where he is constantly scared to move up for any farm. Get Tristana the ability to pound away on that tower and ward out for this Pantheon, because if there is one way that Kassadin can snowball in that lane, it is through roams from this Pantheon while the Ezreal sits back and just farms safely. This Pantheon was going to be a lane pick against the low range of the early game Tristana. It is now turned into a roam pick where you're going to try and get into the mid lane or even in the top lane to get a point and click stun, get the press the attack off, and then make them so vulnerable to the rest of your team's damage. Yeah, and but the other thing is, right, you still have a full AD team. So even if you do snowball, there is a way, especially because you don't have any lethality builders at all.
Yeah.
There is just a way, or I guess lethality gets countered by armor stacking as well. You don't have anyone who's gonna like build a tank shred item.
Armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the Ashe, like you can build a Last Whisper item on the Tristana, and we are now in the game, so let me just go ahead and swap scenes here. But like that Last Whisper item isn't gonna come online until Kassadin's already like level 14. So like snowballing this Triss is gonna be really important. Super important. Is like you have set jungle, and I assume he took Hex Flash as well, so like you have quite a nice gank path towards that mid lane with the Raptors gank. So I want to see Dimovec focus that mid lane, as you said.
Ooh, I like this. I like this little bush gank here. This is exactly what you do with support Pantheon. It is all about the early game, just immense amount of base damage that you have with the empowered stun auto combination, as Strawberry will take about 3/4 of his life.
Yeah, just get a free bomb down. And as you said, the level 1 cheese right there. Zabra will fall.
And there's first blood. Yep, there you go. That's support Pantheon, everybody. Yay!
I mean, I'm not even gonna go like full quick shot there. Like that's just, you know, that's just first. Like you have to know that's coming, right? Like they path smartly to not get caught by the river brush cheese, which is the thing that Pantheon can do as well. But like you have to know that that's gonna happen, right? Like you don't see your laners, you just kind of like wait.
Andy. I blame that one on Andy because that's a situation where you volley blindly into the bush and see if it hits anybody.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did not do that is really what kind of cost that first blood. You don't want to blow a ward there because the early gank potential is very scary there. So I do understand not wanting to throw the ward down. I think if Andy is not going to volley, you have to do that, and it's just a bit sloppy play, especially knowing what kind of champion Pantheon is.
Plus side, Kid Strawberry has used both of his corrupting potions and is 10 CS down at 3 minutes. Welcome
That's
to
not
Tristana
really a plus
lane.
side. That's the opposite. That's the same team.
Plus side for Microsoft Teams, not for INTstagram, right? Because INTstagram had a good bot side. This great just on that was kind of on a wave, so it's actually like a 5 CS difference. But like this lead is going to grow until Cassidy has the ability to actually CS. We see Dimovict come top side though, as you see Pantheon down with Jish in the bot side. As Urgot should be able to get out relatively quickly, but they take the CC nicely. GC Yoshi got a flash, and the flash Q auto from Smolin to pick up the kill. That was really, really smart with the Facebreaker into the taunt. Yes. They timed that perfectly.
Yeah. He waited to use the Facebreaker until he had minions to make sure the stun would connect. Just used the slow on the autos from red buff to slow him down and chase him down, and then waited for those minions, and then comboed that with the Shen taunt on top of it, and basically was a free kill onto Yoshi. Will be behind a good bit. You can see the wave is in a really bad spot too, so Smolin's going to be able to freeze this for a while.
And this is what we were talking about when we were like, okay, Shen is probably the best tank here, because he can actually deal with Urgot. Urgot abuses melee matchups because he can kind of like run you down and pull you in and then get his cannons off. But he can't get the cannons off if you're in a Spirit's Refuge, or if he sees up with the taunt. Zabro will fall here. And that's just a positioning mistake, I think. You can't position in your wave as Nami in this matchup. Summoner Hero going to be used by Forgo.
Oh, Andy has teleport.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is not going to be a fight he can take. Support Pantheon.
So support Pantheon, but that's the thing is like Nami, generally speaking, wants to position evenly with Andy, and I think Andy's positioning has been generally fine. Since
I think honestly, in this lane, you stay behind the Ashe more than you stay like even with the Ashe. Because you can buff the heck out of the Ashe, and if you are getting jumped, you cannot bubble. If he jumps Ashe, you throw the bubble on Ashe, and you stun him.
Oh, the regank top side from Dimovict.
This is what you do. Said wave is in a bad spot, and now you got a dead Urgot.
The pull, the stun, and GC Yoshi will fall. Smolin picks up that kill.
Shen, baby.
Honestly, like, I'm totally fine with Smolin getting the kills here. Typically, like, when you have a Bruiser jungler and then a Shen, it's like, okay, which one do you give the kills to? And it's like 50-50 chance. I think in this case, Smolin getting to the Titanic Hydra is just so immensely important here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's the biggest thing here is, you know, making sure that Smolin can get at least the Tiamat, have that wave pressure to just push, and then be able to back off and ult to somebody. And here's the ganks, but
Dimovic's presence this game, actually, really smart pathing. Really smart pathing.
Yeah. They pinged out that the Pantheon was missing, and...
Oh no, he's going Bomby Cinder. Shen gonna pop the ultimate, though, and Jish will just fall. And that's gonna be a dragon for Microsoft Teams. So...
Boris strikes again.
Like, I don't want to be, like, full LS here, but this is something I see players do quite often, where they just, like, where they aren't behind. Like if you're behind on Shen, going the Bomby Cinder here is totally fine, right?
Yeah.
Or Bramblevest or something, and you can build defensively and just ignore the Tiamat, right? But if you are even or ahead on Shen, Tiamat is so very good because it gives you damage that is kind of unexpected on a tank, but is really good on Shen. It gives you wave clear.
It's the wave clear more than anything. It gives you so much ability to control the wave that Shen has no option otherwise. He has 0 AoE on his kit. So if he wants to control the wave, especially against an Urgot, and at least keep it even, he needs the Tiamat. Bomby Cinder is not going to do the same thing, and it's going to neuter his ability to put out damage, which means in these long fights that is going to, you know, eventually occur as they're running each other down, that is going to harm any ability to trade with him.
But like, I think Shen is very much like Lilia or like AP Volibear, right? Where you just kind of like build the one item that gives you damage and then the rest of it's tank items. In an ideal scenario, obviously like AP Volibear isn't popular at the moment, but like back when AP Volibear was popular, right? You would get the you would get the Hextech, not revolver, builds out a Hextech revolver. You get the Gunblade and then just build tank. I think it's very similar with Shen. At least that's how I play Shen. I mean, I've been playing Shen since season 6. Dimavik to go get a pull. Flash out of the way.
What?
Here comes Hogwar.
Oh, he stole it!
Going back in there. Hogwar,
He stole it!
Silence up, gets a bullet time. Wait, he did get the steal?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. That was just big brain play, and I didn't realize it.
Big brain play, and Smolin went down and picked up the Herald.
And the buster shot, the 3-man buster shot from Hogwar was really good there to disengage too. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Forget everything I've ever said here. I'm the village
Just talk
idiot.
about what's happening. Don't say whether it's good or not. That's my job.
Look, man. If Freak can do it, so can I. Making all the professional caster references at the moment. I wonder who's going to be doing semifinals, actually, because I know Flowers isn't doing semifinals.
Yeah, Flowers is out, LS is out. No idea. I'm assuming Freak is.
I'm assuming it's going to be freaking Quickshot. Small one.
Nah.
Might be in a bit of trouble
yeah,
here.
not together.
Fear Beyond Death's here, but here comes Dimavik.
Yep, goodbye.
Facebreaker by GC Yoshi. Small one, 3-0-1.
Oof.
But Zabro just gets deleted in the bot side. And this is... now that you're getting kills on the Shen, if you don't build your Tiamat item, this is just flat out a mistake, because tank items don't give you as much utility when you have kills as Titanic Hydra does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's currently sitting on 1,600 gold. He would already have his Darum's Fist. Well, correction, you'd typically go Tiamat into
also,
Sunfire Cave, but like...
here you can see where the Bomby Cinder is really hurting is Andy running the flash there.
But that's also going to be an ult
see,
from Dragon Knight DD.
You can see where the Tiamat is hurting there, because that wave would have been gone so much faster with the Tiamat. And only got the 3 plates off with the Herald.
Like, at the very least, just get like, you just need a Titanic Hydra. Just do it, because you're so far ahead that is...
Nope, Sunfire.
Like it's Sunfire Cape. And here's the thing, like, Tiamat and its Sunfire Cape is like the standard I'm even build, right? It's just going Tiamat, then building your Sunfire Cape, so you have the AoE.
And then finishing the Hydra, yeah.
And then you finish the Hydra, and you got... It's not really an auto attack reset, but similar to an auto attack reset off of it. A nice...
No, it's an auto attack reset when it's finished.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, just Tiamat in general is not an auto attack reset. We see the Buster Shot, Rocket Jump out of the way,
Good
but he's not able to
jump.
get a reset on the bomb.
Still
and
dead,
that's going to
but...
be Kid Strawberry, just Rift walking forward, and Hogwar will fall to the queue.
This
and that's
is
2 kills on a cast.
Whoa, hold on. Look at the items on Kassadin.
Wait, no. Wait, no.
Woo! Boris is having a field day.
Wait. Is this a build? Like,
Hank Cassidy is back, baby.
is this like actually a build? Am I just missing?
It's not been a build for a long time, but it very much has been a build in the past. It was a top lane build. You just go full tank Cassidy, and build stuff like Frozen Heart, dive the back line, and just be like a bruiser almost.
So there goes the Shen ultimate into the taunt. Ash Arrow gonna connect down onto the Kha'Zix as Dragonite will take the showstopper to potentially get the rest of his team peeled off. Kid Strawberry gonna flash over the wall, has the Rift Walk, will be able to use it. Still level 9, not level 11, hasn't hit that spike. But, you know, we were talking about how, like, important this Tristana is as far as win condition goes. Still very far up in CS, but because of those 2 kills to the Kassadin, is behind in gold. And this is very scary. Because if Tristana doesn't get off the ground, especially because your Shen's building full tank and doesn't have the side lane prio over the Urgot, you are going to suffer in this mid-game power drop from the Tristana. Yeah, so Smolin, like, literally if he had Tiamat, GC Yoshi would be on 200 health right now.
Yeah, GC Yoshi would probably have died there with the Tiamat. But, yeah, okay, so, like, generally... Frozen Heart Kassadin is a troll build, but in this specific
Tristana
case,
Ashe. Like, I get it.
It's Tristana Ashe Shen Set.
Oh, that's right. Set has huge attack speed as well. That's right. Because of
It's not even about the attack speed as much as it's a mana item with a bunch of armor that Kassadin loves, and the CDR is pretty solid as well.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, like Frozen Heart versus Iceborne Gauntlet, you build the Frozen, I typically think when you have like double AD or triple AD comps. Jish gonna flash as well here. Pantheon, gonna pop the ultimate. They are able to get the kill on the Jish. Dragonite on the side here. Currently has a fully stacked attack towards the Common Spear. Nami's here. Sabra, jump down. Stun lands.
But yeah, it's worth mentioning that the Frozen Heart has a bunch of the mana that Kassadin's ult will scale with. So,
but like, wouldn't isn't Iceborne Gauntlet better because you get Sheen passive as well?
Probably. I think so. So the thing is, I think when this build was like a popular thing, Iceborne Gauntlet did not exist.
Aha. Like once again, because you have like quite a few like major auto attackers, I don't think Frozen Heart's that passive.
Oh yeah, no, I think even the passive is good in this instance. So
yeah, because like the passive on Frozen Heart is like why you typically buy it, and that's just gonna be a dead ass.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So point and click CC is busted. Aegis Assault is busted. What's new?
Yeah.
And at this point in the game, INTstagram's back with the gold lead, and they have first tower in the top lane. They're gonna get another tower bot. We see the Jerome's Fist.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Why not the Tiamat? Just get the Tiamat before the Jerome's Fist.
Smolin, you're giving my co-caster a stroke.
Boris! Boris, please! Your job is to suggest items that might be like... Well, never mind, you're a salesman. You're just supposed to sell them whatever they think they want. Make them think that he wants Tiamat. like 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes. This man is 100% KP on the Shen, 3-0-3. And if he had Tiamat, he would be solo carrying this game. Legit. He lost first tower in the top lane because he didn't have the wave clear from Tiamat to actually take first tower himself. Like, I am so malding. Yes, maybe I'm LS. Maybe I'm LS as a color or as a play-by-play here. But come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, as the Stormrazor comes through, and actually here, I would not be opposed to getting, to seeing Tristana just rush a Last Whisper, honestly. I think the armor on this Kassadin alone would make it worthwhile.
And Ezreal, because he built Iceborne.
Ezreal, yeah.
Pantheon
Ezreal has the
lethality,
Iceborne.
but like, Oh god. Wait, Pantheon has an XX for the Nami. And you know, everything except for the Frozen Heart I just love from INTstagram as far as itemization goes. Like,
I love the Frozen Heart, honestly.
I mean, I don't think it, like, I think Iceborne Gauntlet in theory is better, but at the same time I don't play Kassadin, and I, like...
The thing, okay, so here's the thing though. Kassadin is 100% going to be diving onto that back line.
That's true.
So that passive is going to be used extremely well.
Stun lands, but it was a buffered rocket jump. Shen gonna pop the ultimate. Haymaker gonna be popped, as well as the Nami ultimate. Ash Arrow hit lands onto Jish T. Smolin on a rampage as he picks up the kill. Gyoshi gonna try to dive under tower, but he can't get the kills. As Smolin goes down, it will be a 2-for-1, and the shutdown goes to the Kassadin and make that a double kill for the Kassadin as he picks up the kill into the Nami of the Rift Walk. And so level 11 Kassadin is a thing. And so you know how I said Shen, you know, could be solo carrying the game right now? He picked up a kill.
Yeah, look how little damage he takes from the tower!
Yep. So he obviously, like, it wasn't a chaos, right? Like, it wasn't intentional, but, like, he basically chaosed the Tristana kill there. Gave him extra gold, and now he's not going to be able to use it. And, like, he now needs an MR item because Kassadin's off the ground. This game was still going so well for Microsoft Teams, but you let the Kassadin do his thing.
You let the Kassadin do his thing, and now he has the mana for it.
You let the Kassadin be Kassadin. Well, Iceborne also gives you CDR, which is really good on Kassadin. But, like, Frozen Heart doesn't give you CDR.
It's a lot less armor, is the thing.
It is less armor, but, like, as far as Glacial Shot,
yeah. And the big thing, too, is, like, just, like
60 less.
I think, really, he doesn't need the slow. He can just chase people down regardless.
Yeah. Okay. So, guess what's finally built on Shen? Like 15 minutes after we told him to build it.
Ooh. TMI.
Condescension aside, it's very late for this item.
Just thank you for doing it so that PhiNick stops talking about it.
Like, if you had the item earlier, I think this is just a better position because you're basically keep Urgot out of fights and you can kind of solo carry from the sideline. But now it's like, yes, you're still going to get the Titanic Hydra, which is a really good item on Shen, and you want to complete it around this time of the game anyway, but... Man...
Yeah, and at this point, I think we're already at the point where Kassadin is just unstoppable.
Yeah.
He's not going to die. He is not going to... He is going to blow people up just inherently because of his kit. And he is going to be too mobile to stop from getting into the backline.
His tier is 2/3 of the way stacked as well. This man just has a lot of mana.
Yep.
Like, the Archangel's Roa build is, you know, what I was expecting, but what I got, a little bit more interesting. Interesting, if you will. Playing on the team name, not...
Are you really gonna
Kassadin
call it
inting.
interesting when it's 4-0-1? Like...
Yeah, well, you know, it's more playing on the team name than, like, because he's not actually inting this. It just Assault is busted, changed my mind. Like... Oh, God. Alright. You know what, chat, I very much appreciate your copy pastas, foreheads, lulls in chat. That's great. Love it.
You're giving him energy, chat.
You're giving me energy.
Speaking of energy, Shen has enough energy to take down this Urgot.
Oh, the bubble stop the blast cone. Now that's...
He baited his own team.
The flash on GC Yoshi is down now. Here comes Jish. Won't be able to delete anyone, though. Oh. Nice stun lands off of the set. Able to get one kill. Smolin picks it up, but it will be the Nami traded back. Smolin, though, gets the damage onto Jish D. Demovec gonna try to go forward. Showstopper used onto Dragonite, but Aegis Assault has been popped. Demovec's gonna be the next one down as the Ash Arrow hits, but it's on to the support. It's 2-4-1 in favor of INTstagram. And they can probably take this tower and or the mid one. Mid one's
Yeah,
a
the
donut
bubble
play.
actually baited Small N as he taunted, expecting to hit him as he hit the ground on the other side of the wall.
I don't think
and,
Nami thought she would get the bubble.
I didn't think Nami would get the bubble.
Just
It
like
was,
yoinked out of the air there.
Yeah, very, very good. And now we are seeing another dragon going down, the third, as Infernal Soul is going to be available in 5 minutes.
So, Worlds, how much of it have you been watching, actually?
I've been trying to keep up with it. The time zone is just not favorable for me.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough.
I have this issue of I need to be able to see it live to care. Like, I struggle to go back and watch because I'm like, I already know what happens. Why do I want to watch this?
Bro, like, me and Nightstar were popping off about the Suning win yesterday. That was... Oh. My boys. My two favorite Flash Wolves. Sword Art, who was my favorite Flash Wolf, and Karsa.
We're getting at least one of them in finals.
We're getting at least one of them in finals, and, like, both of them going to face each other in semis. Like, I love Sword Art. I don't think he's going... I don't think Suning's gonna be able to beat top. But at the same time, like, Karsa played out of his mind today. Sword Art played really well yesterday. God. What are these copy pastas, chat?
And
Jaguar.
Jaguar is done.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Going down. Fear
So-
beyond death.
So here's the thing, right? It's nice to see Dimavix put that topside or put him down the drain, right? And I think if you didn't have the Tristana mid up against a Kassadin, that was absolutely totally fine. But because he had this Kassadin pickup, Tristana just hasn't been able to do anything. Nice Rift Walk forward. Hit Strawberries and stop.
Yeah.
Another Rift Walk.
He takes
Empowered
no
auto attack
damage.
into the E. Silence lands from the Q. Rift Walk forward. Back into the E. Rift Walk. W. Triple kill.
He has a store. He has an arm guard.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, like, you're up against a full AD team. Like, why not? You're gonna get the AP stacking as well. That's like a whole... That's a whole, 15 AP.
He has
additionally.
238 armor. He's just stacking in the bush to blow someone up.
I mean, makes sense. LDR has been picked up by Hogwar here before the next item, and honestly,
Which is
like,
correct.
That is absolutely correct. Like you are not your team's late game damage anymore, except towards the tanks. Like, the Ashe has to do the AoE damage, but like she needs an LDR next too, because she has the Runons.
The nice 2-second cooldown on the ultimate.
I mean, I do think the early game was... Like, now I'm looking back on it, like, I think the early game kills were good, but I think it was still kind of an early game misplay from Microsoft teams, right? Because you didn't shut down the Kassadin, and if Kassadin's not shut down early, he becomes this. You know? And you gotta... Ninja Tab Frozen Heart Kassadin can't hurt you. He's not real.
No.
No.
Oh my god.
We see Spirit... Well, not Spirit Visage. Adaptive Helm gonna be itemized by Small One. Could be Spirit Visage, you have an Omni on your team. But, like... The Adaptive Helm's gonna be nice, I think, up against the Kassadin. Like, it should be Adaptive Helm, right? 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 He's not gonna Spirit.
Alright, well, there's Infernal Soul available in about a minute. And already, you can see there is complete vision control.
Dragonite diving under tower, pops the Aegis Assault into set ultimate. That's one down. Make that another as the 4 ago. Picks up the kill. Kid Strawberry gonna go ahead, dash under tower. He tanks up the tower damage and stays alive. So tank Cassidon, boys and girls.
Tank Cassidon, baby.
And non-binary pals. And Twitch chat. Twitch chat doesn't really have like a gender. I'm dead. This is I am. You know, 1000. You know. Sometimes I wonder. Is this the real life? Is this
or is
just
this a fantasy game?
Well, based on the new champion, I can't really say that
Called League of
they keep the
Legends.
fantasy aesthetics all that much. Okay. Real talk. I don't hate Seraphine as much as a lot of other people. However, her designs, or like her ability to design, seems mildly uninspired. Like she has like we haven't had like a standard 3-hit passive champion in a long time. And like I don't think her kit's all that much like Sona's. I think she has potential to be a mid laner. Nice enchanted crystal arrow hits down on the enemy tank. Flash is already out of the way. GC Yoshi on a killing spree, and the Ezreal
Here
gets the
comes
kill under the
Strawberry.
set, and goodbye.
That game.
Yep.
They just pushed me to an end at this point.
Yep. That's
Can I play League of Legends? Timbervik says.
But yeah, so I just don't like I don't like Seraphine's aesthetic. I think it doesn't fit into Piltover and Zon or any of the established themes. Which kinda is a bit annoying, I think. And like, she has an ultimate skin on release, which I just don't think should happen. Game number 2, gonna go over to Instagram. They win the series. Gonna go 5-0 in the Swiss system as well, so that guarantees them top seeding going into the bracket.
Yeah, so just extremely strong play from everybody on the side of Instagram, as they will continue to be undefeated. As I don't think there was ever any doubt.
Kid Strawberry, like, whew.
Unequivocally the MVP of this series.
9-0
Both
and 3
games
on this
carried.
Cassidon. 9-0 and 3 on the Cassidon. Like, he didn't even do the most damage in the game. Ezreal did almost twice the amount of damage.
I believe it. I mean, Cassidon doesn't do poke damage like Ezreal does. And also, Kid Strawberry didn't have to do damage. He was a bruiser, essentially.
Shen did this, to answer Twitch chat, Shen did 10,738 damage, which is only, slightly
Like 100.
over 100 less damage than the Ashe did 10,863 damage. So I do think, to be fair, that as much as I think it was a macro mistake to focus this top lane, I do think the ganks from Dimovict and the kills onto the Urgot were really well executed. And I think in a different world, this is a game that goes the way of Microsoft, but I just don't think they had the wherewithal to.
I think also too, it really comes down. Zabro in that game was extremely far behind and died a lot in lane, which allowed for the Ezreal and the Pantheon to just pop off. So I don't think it is all on Smol in this game. Obviously once Cassidon started getting some tank stats, Hogwar was going to have some trouble, but Zabro's early game was less than ideal, as the Pantheon just made her struggle so much.
Yeah, like the Pantheon in this game and the last game of the set, I think Dragonite did extremely well to punish Zabro in particular. That was the other rank disparity that we saw, was that Zabro was, I believe... So Dragonite's Plat 2, Zabro's Gold 4. And I do think that definitely showed there were definitely positioning mistakes, but I don't think like what I will say is that like as much as that punish happened, and as much as that really sucked, especially in the Samira game, I don't think that was really a difference maker this game as much as just Kid Strawberry just popping off on the Castodon, and Stimovic just ignoring it. But like once again, like I think the execution components are there from this Microsoft squad, and I don't want to take that away from them because they had good fights when they weren't behind, but their macro sense just like needs a little bit of work as far as like team calls and like general game plan is concerned.
Yeah, it's ultimately some there was a lot of itemization errors in the games, and there was just some draft mistakes, there was some macro mistakes. When things went well, it was definitely like them playing well. It's just that those mistakes were not committed on the other team, and it just put them way behind.
Yeah, and once again, like congratulations to this Facebook Instagram squad. We're going to be taking a quick break. When we return, we're going to have an interview with their captain, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And they say I have a grim sense of humor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Corporate Esports Association Week 5 post-game. We are right now with the Facebook Instagram captain here. That is Jish, the Kazakh's king, as it were. How are you feeling after that win?
Pretty good, pretty good. It was a nice 2 games. I think they played game 2 a lot better, so I was, sweating a bit. I wasn't doing too hot, but my team pulled through. They kind of popped off.
I was gonna ask what it was like being
good.
in the strawberry backpack.
Oh yeah, I mean when Kid Strawberry pops off, it always feels good. Yeah.
So
that was a huge game by him.
Speaking of that Kid Strawberry pop off in game number 2, like, did he like? What was he saying when he built like the old school Tank Cassidy build? Like, who suggested that? Like what was that? Like?
I mean, he suggested it. I think he plays a lot of different things, and he does a lot of weird stuff. So I think he was right at home with this Tank Cassidy. Also, like they drafted 4 AD, 5 AD.
It was 4 AD and an enchanter.
Yeah.
Also, did you expect this Tristana to happen mid?
Not at all actually. So what we did is basically we see all AD, and then we actually did this before as well in a scrim where we just blind the Cassidon because then mid has to pick AP if they want like a well-rounded like comp.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess they send the Tristana mid to get like a good matchup. But for some reason they play AD bot as well, which we were a bit confused by.
Yeah.
Also, I think the Trist was meant to go on there like bot laner because he plays it way more. It was
from
strange.
what
We
we
didn't
saw,
expect it.
Hogwarts
no,
plays,
actually,
Hogwarts
yeah.
plays more Tristana than Andy. From what we
yeah,
saw.
we were yelling about it
Wow.
on the cast. We were like, "This is 100% a Tristana mid," and you guys were picking Cassidon into it. We were like, "Oh no, this is."
I mean,
this
to
is
be
a
fair, they
bait.
didn't punish the Castanet at all that game. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
it worked
yeah.
out.
I think
Um,
the gangs should have gone mid, and then it would have been a lot harder of game.
Yeah.
That said, though, so game number 1, definitely a stronger performance for you. So
Sure,
there was
yeah.
a double kill top lane that we did not expect to happen when Volibear hit 6. So
yeah,
go ahead
yeah.
and walk us through that one.
So it was it's the Conqueror Kha'Zix actually because they picked a lot of like tanky characters for the first game, and I think I just got like 5 stacks, and I actually don't play that much Conqueror Kha'Zix, so I was just I mean it was to the death, like I was dead regardless, so I was just trying to get up as much damage as possible, and I survived, so it was a nice double kill.
Yeah. Okay. So talking about stuff outside of the game, what can you tell us a bit about like your team dynamic and like where everyone in your team comes from, like in the company? Do you guys all work on
Yeah.
Instagram as your team name would suggest, or are you guys from different areas of Facebook?
I actually think none of us work on Instagram. I think we're all over the place. Obviously, we never actually any of us have met in person because of COVID, and I've never played with any of these guys before. I did play against our top laner last season, where they 2-0'd us in semis or something. For the company, I think everyone is all over the place. I think we're mostly software engineers. Yeah, and then one of our other top laners, I think. Oh wait, I think also I want to say our AD is in New York, but most people are in California.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So your team supports MSF, also known as Doctors Without Borders. Do you have anything to say about the charity and why you guys selected them for your representative?
No, I mean not too much. It's a nice charity. I hope we can win so we can get some of the money that way.
Gotcha. Hasn't you got any more questions before we end this one?
I
Sorry.
don't. I don't think I do actually. Unfortunately.
Well, regardless, like once again, like very well played to you guys. I very much enjoyed watching that game number 1 performance, especially game number 2. As an Anivia player, I absolutely hate seeing Cassidon getting picked, and especially hate seeing it win. So that's on me, but that was very well played, and congratulations on your victory. 5-0 in the Swiss, so you guys will be one of the top seeds going into the next bracket. Do you have anything to say before we end the broadcast? Anyone to shout out, as it were?
I mean, just shout out to my teammates, coach, and also Zizzy for like doing all the prep work and playing really well. Yeah, so this season Facebook has like a coach, so that's really nice. And we've been scrimming a bunch as well, which I don't think we did like last season. So we've been learning like a lot from other teams and just playing a bunch. So yeah, I've been really enjoying CEA, especially this season, and it feels way more like formal. I don't know, because we're doing like scrims and stuff. So it's super hype, and it's nice to see us grow as like a team and get used to like each other's playstyles and stuff.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us for this interview, and thank you for the entertaining series. All that being said, though, this is all the time we have for today's broadcast. From everyone here at CEA, admins, league staff, and the other members of the production crew for the other esports, as it were, my name is PhiNick.
My name is Thousand Eyes.
And we'll see you tomorrow. or not tomorrow, next week. Well, I totally borked that. We'll see you next week, same time, same place.